Hey guys, Petr from CyclistShub.com here. In this video I will be talking about the Magene L508, also known as Magicshine See Mee 508 radar, which I've been using since its launch. I will explain its advantages and disadvantages and also compare it with other radars like the Garmin Varia RTL515 and the Bryton Gardia R300. But before we dive into that, let's take a quick detour into history, because for a long time the Garmin Varia radar had no competition. However, its success inspired other manufacturers, and during Eurobike 2022, Magene L508 and Bryton Gardia R300 radars with seemingly better specs were introduced. Magene released their radar last September, while Gardia was launched only a few days ago, except for the Italian market where it was launched about 2 months ago. So how do bicycle radars work and why should you use one? Well, the radar transmits and receives radar signals reflected by moving objects like cars, trucks, motorbikes or faster cyclists. It then displays them on your bike computer screen or smartphone and alerts you with a beep. This simple system is a lifesaver in traffic and riding in strong winds when you can't hear what's going on behind you. It makes it easy to adjust your riding style and prepare for the overtaking. I feel uncomfortable riding without the radar on my bike. It also seems that thanks to the taillight, drivers overtake me with a greater distance, so I feel much safer. What about you? Do you already use a bicycle radar or are you thinking about buying one? Let me know in the comments below. Let's now talk about the pros of the Magene L508. It detects cars as quickly as Varia or Bryton radars with a detecting distance of about 140 meters. In my experience, it has never missed a car, meaning a false negative, and I can rely on it. Thanks to the firmware updates, the radar offers some new features compared to those available at launch. After subscribing to Magene's newsletter, you can increase or decrease the brightness of the light, which was not possible before. You can also lengthen or shorten the light intervals or turn off individual light modes. It depends on you. And we also got a new light mode, the same one you know from Varia, the fast flash. The Magene app can now also replace a bike computer like Varia and Gardia apps, because it can display the incoming cars. This was also not possible before. The last features I would like to highlight are Auto Smart brake sensing and Auto Sleep. When you start to brake, the light will increase its intensity to alert those behind you, and the Auto Sleep helps save battery. It turns off the light when it won't detect a movement for a certain period, like 5 minutes, and wake it up once it does. Anyway, like everything, the Magene L508 has some disadvantages. It gives me more false positives, which means it notifies me about the car that's not there, about as often as I fail to get a local KOM. These false alarms were pretty common, but it seems the firmware update fixed them to some extent. But they are still more common than on Varia. It's also a shame that the change of the light pattern when overtaking takes only a few seconds, not the entire overtaking period like on Varia. Unfortunately, it has pretty bad battery life, lasting only about 7.5 hours on flash mode, which is roughly 3 hours less than the Varia and Gardia. This battery life is much shorter than the claimed battery life of 10 hours in this mode. At least it has a USB-C connector, unlike Varia. It's also compatible with most N+ and Bluetooth bike computers like those from Garmin, Wahoo or Bryton, but they cannot automatically wake it up from the standby mode like Varia or Gardia. Using the smartphone app is sometimes a pain. Connecting to the radar takes a long time and sometimes it won't even connect. The last drawback is the mount that feels loose and I have to adjust it after riding on cobblestones, for example. Gardia mount is more stable. You can watch my review right there. So, is the Magene L508 worth it? And is it better than Varia? Well, yes and no. It is fully customizable, fully functional and cheaper alternative to Varia. However, the lower price means shorter battery life, more false positives and worse multi-car detection. Based on my experience with all these radars, I think the Magene radar is only the second best alternative to Varia, right behind Gardia. Anyway, I hope this review has been helpful to you. If so, please subscribe below to support this channel. Thanks for watching and I will see you soon.